And now, join us on a voyage of discovery. During the Nazi era, some 400,000 German-speaking Jews fled to the far corners of the earth, and they took some of their culture to their new homelands. We went in search of what's left and what's become of it.
In China, we visit Shanghai with Sonja Mühlberger, born here in 1939 to German Jewish emigres. In the U.S., we meet the Swarthout family. They returned recently from 2 years in Germany, the country of their parents. And we also go to Brazil, to a huge family gathering organized by Ernst Wolfgang Hamburger. He first came to Sao Paulo as a child.
This is a photograph album from the early days of our life in Brazil. We arrived in October 1936, and these are the pictures of our departure. We went from Germany to England and then on to Brazil.
Before the Second World War, Germany's Jewish population numbered approximately 500,000. About half of them managed to flee the country in the nick of time, starting new lives in far-flung corners of the world. 90,000 emigrated to the United States, about the same number to Central America, and the same again to South America. 60,000 moved to Palestine. What did they take with them? What became of them? What do they remember of Germany? We set out to look for traces of German Jewish cultural heritage with the help of historian Elke Vera Kotowski at the Moses Mendelssohn Center in Potsdam.
Für viele im Exil ist die Heimat auch.
For many who went into exile, home was something cultural, the cultural tradition of Central Europe, of Germany. That meant art, novels, and poems that they'd memorized. I noticed that they took with them not only furniture and other trappings, but something very crucial when they fled and saved their own lives. And that was a certain culture.
Dem eigenen Leben, das man gerettet hat, das ganz wichtig auch oder ein ganz wichtiger Punkt die Kultur ist.
Like this picture book. It takes Ernst Wolfgang Hamburger back to his childhood in Berlin. We attend a very special family gathering he organized. 3 generations of his family from the U.S., Britain, and Germany come together in Brazil for a party. Many of them had never met before. As Ernst Wolfgang's son Kao explains, what unites them is not so much religious faith as cultural heritage.
A lot of my memories of my childhood and my grandmother are associated with certain smells, furniture, the sound of the language, the accent, the emphasis of the words, the food. It's all buried deep down inside. In terms of its legacy, there was always a lot of importance attached to education, culture, science, and art.
Over 10,000 kilometers to the north, we meet Brian and Donna Swarthout and their children. They live in Montana, in the heart of the Wild West. They see Germany as a second home. The Swarthout's forefathers were German Jews. Donna's mother was a child when she and her parents emigrated to the U.S.
I was born in New Jersey, and my extended family lived in the New York area, and we came together for holidays, and I heard a lot of German spoken and ate a lot of German Jewish food, and so that was a very special time in my life that I always held close in my heart, that I've carried with me for my whole life.
The parents of Donna's husband, Brian, were also German Jews. The couple were intrigued by their family histories and decided they wanted to find out how it felt to live in today's Germany. They moved to Berlin and spent 2 years there discovering its Jewish life. Their son Avery celebrated his bar mitzvah in the German capital.
It was a new experience. I mean, I never knew a whole bunch about the Holocaust, but I knew enough to know what it was about and what happened. So I was interested and even a bit wary of what it would be like. But when I got there, I realized it's still a big open wound, and it's not like that at all. German people are trying to forget it.
Many German Jews were refused papers allowing them to move to countries like the U.S., but anyone was allowed into Shanghai. 18,000 German Jews arrived by ship, including Sonja Mühlbacker's parents. They fled on the eve of the Second World War.
The very word Shanghai was like a lifeline. You could go there even if you didn't have all the right papers. The papers you did need were the ones that got you out of Germany. But to enter Shanghai through the port, to cross onto dry land, you didn't even need a visa.
The new arrivals lived in poverty. They tried their best to find work in this strange city and create a home away from home. The community eventually built up its own cultural infrastructure, including coffee houses and dance evenings.
It doesn't matter where you live. You carry a culture within you. It's handed on from generation to generation. Cosmopolitanism is a phenomenon. It means you can be anywhere in the world and create a home. That's what bonds people together.
It's also the phenomenon we'll be looking at in our series, Traces of the Past. Join us on our voyage around the globe.